Disasters can strike at any time, and it is important to make sure you are prepared. One of the worst things that can happen is a water loss in your home. This video will go over the best practices when dealing with water damage. One of the main things everyone should do before having any type of issue with their home is to have a review with their insurance agent. With the price rises that have been experienced over the last few years, a lot of people will find themselves underinsured should a large-scale disaster happen. With a lot of people struggling financially, the cost of insurance can be a lot, and people may be willing to have less coverage to help afford the policy. Even though this may be tempting, it makes more sense to increase your deductible, to reduce the cost, and then try to put any savings aside to help cover possible deductible payments. The reason this makes sense is that you really shouldn't make a claim unless the damage is reasonably above the deductible. Insurance is for significant damage and not a maintenance policy. I would recommend a deductible of $5,000 or $10,000 if you can afford it. Your homeowner's policy is there to help in times of disaster. Smaller issues should ideally be taken care of without getting insurance involved. Most carriers' insurance companies will drop your policy if you have 2 claims in a 3-year period. Some penalize claims for longer. This leads me to another great point. When deciding or shopping your insurance, it is a great idea to work with an actual insurance agent. This way, if you have an issue, you can call them for recommendations on contractors. Usually, they will recommend someone who will give you a free assessment on the best ways to move forward. At that point, you can decide whether to make a claim. Obviously, if you have inches of water throughout your home and you know the damage is severe, go ahead and make the claim. With the previous company, I came across a situation where we went out to inspect, as the lady said she had water pouring down the wall in her dining room. Fortunately, the lady did not call her insurance company, as that would have counted against her. Instead, we inspected and found that the light made her think a shadow was water. Even in this situation, with most insurance companies, this would go on the insurance record and count against you. The contractor or restoration company you decide to deal with is completely your decision. Your insurance company can make recommendations, but ultimately it is up to you. Do your due diligence and research the companies. Check reviews and make sure you feel comfortable moving forward with them. Once you have a company to deal with the mitigation process, whether that be one of the big box companies, a franchise or local contractor, the drying process can take place. The timelines on dryouts can vary depending on what materials are wet, but ultimately getting the drying started ASAP will save time and money on the claim. If it's an insurance claim, the money might not matter as much, but the noise from the equipment will bother you. The fans are noisy and will be required to run overnight. If they are turned off, the insurance company may not cover extra drying time required. It is common for the dryout to begin before an adjuster has time to inspect the loss. Most adjusters are incredibly busy and may not be able to get out for a couple of days. When this happens, the contractor should photo document the drying process thoroughly so that the incurred cost is easier to be agreed upon. Some materials can be dried quicker than others. For example, concrete can be dried a lot quicker than hardwoods or even subfloor. Some materials aren't worth trying to dry. Vinyl on concrete will cost more to dry than replacing the flooring. Similar can be said of drywall. Companies should do a water cut on drywall. This should be done 2 feet off the ground to enable an easier reinstallation once repairs commence. Once all demo and drying have been complete, most shouldn't go past 5 days, then it is time for your repair estimate. The contractor should be able to come out once the demo is done to start their estimate. This is sent to the adjuster, who may need to re-inspect to be able to agree on the scope of work and accompanying price of repairs. More than likely, this will take around another 3 to 4 weeks for this process. During this time, your contractor should have you make any selections that need to be made and ordered before work can start, such as flooring, cabinets, paint, color, etc. This way, once everything has been agreed upon, the products required have been ordered and should arrive in time for the commencement of repairs. One thing that should be thought about is the potential to upgrade your home during this situation. Insurance will only cover the cost to replace the materials in your home, but that does put money towards any upgrades you may want to do. Maybe you have LVP floors, but have thought about hardwoods. This is a great time to make that switch, as you would only be covering the difference in cost rather than the whole project. While I did come across people that suffered multiple losses at the same address and those at multiple addresses, it was very uncommon for people to go through this more than once. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Stay proactive, stay protected, and if disaster strikes, you'll be ready.